Okay, so they did get it unlocked from yesterday. Okay, got it. We did check it yesterday, and it was still locked with our locks. Yes. It's a good thing on our hands. Yes. Yes. Mr. Miller, I would like you to meet an associate of mine who works here with us. I'm sorry, I was talking to Mr. Jeffrey on the walkies. And supposedly they're hosting an event. The hen house is hosting an event or catering an event at a local car show.
All right, that sounds interesting. What sort of
Yeah,
event?
it's a car show event where we people bring their cars and everything.
Right,
You
that's
probably
what
know
you
what that
said.
is.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, yes.
Then
But
where will this be
one of the
hosted?
associates, Zoe, who just pulled in, um, is
Zoe, what's her
Zoe
pseudonym?
Skies. Zoe
Skies?
Skies.
Skies or
Sky.
Sky?
It's Sky.
All right.
Hello, Zoe.
Hi.
I'd like
And
to
you
introduce
must be
you.
Mrs. Sky. Hello, I
This is
am Mr. Wilford. Pleasure meeting you, miss.
Hello. Okay. What's going on? Who is this?
I am so sorry. Has Mr. Sergey not told you anything about me? Has he taken credit for everything that he has
I'm
done?
dead right now.
Excuse me?
what, Jeffrey?
Just give me a sec.
Okay.
What'd you say?
I asked Mrs. Kai here if she has if Mr. Sergey hasn't said anything about
I
me
would
before.
say if you are gonna go
Yeah.
there to see if you can't um maybe try an alternate route down a different way to the beach and then go behind the house.
So, Aurora, I forgot to send you something.
Okay.
And you
What,
said
Zoe?
Dimitri's taken what now? Taken it, like,
Credit.
are you a part? Oh.
Did you think Mr. Sergey had the brain capacity to
Oh, I already sent that
come
to
up
him.
with
Shit.
such ideas when it comes to revenge?
I mean, yeah, actually.
Anyway,
I'll be real with you.
matter it does not. It's fine. Right, I'm his employer. Or yeah. We used to work together a long time ago.
Interesting.
He used to be my boot. Anyway, matter it does
Your
not.
what?
Boot. Long
Okay.
story.
Yeah,
Don't worry
I
about
was
it.
just actually talking. Sorry to interrupt real fast. I was actually just talking to Jeffrey about this.
Yeah, Mrs. Sergey and Mr. Morgan have put me up to date a little bit with what the hen house has been doing, as well as an endeavor which happened today. I don't know if you're aware or not. They got shot at,
No.
and then Mr. Morgan got offered to meet at the hen house with some lady. He unfortunately did not have the phone number of whoever called, so it wasn't like hidden. It just he didn't have it in his contacts, but we assume it
Jeffrey, we
was
are
one of
at
the
Scoopity if
angels.
you
I
want to
think is
join
the
us
name
here.
they go by.
I didn't
Right.
hear that last part.
Unfortunately, not yet.
We assume it's
We
one
are
of the
talking
angels
to Zoe.
who
Um,
contact Mr. Morgan.
Got you. Probably.
But in the meantime, I also found out that the hen house is
Me
co-hosting an event,
and
a car show.
Yeah,
Perchance?
Birdie they posted it on Birdie.
I'm not one with social media. I refrain from using such. But anyways,
You could just say brain rot because that's what it is.
it is.
Yeah. But it's showing here as okay. But first of all, hold on. This is all hearsay at this point. I don't have Jeffrey here to confirm anything. I don't have Dimitri here to confirm anything. I don't know who you
Right.
are from a hole in the wall. Aurora, have you met this guy before today?
I've heard things from Dimitri
Okay.
about him, so he is all good and in the clear, and
Okay.
is one of us.
All right. That's all I needed because I'm not just gonna sit here and blindly walk into the light here and say,
No,
okay, let's just accept this dude.
Mrs.
No,
Sky, I do like your
100%,
method. Yes.
100%. He is on our side.
Okay. Well,
I happened to run into
I want
Mr.
their
Morgan
fucking
at the. Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
no, I want their fucking food truck on fire during this event. Like I actually do.
But we do have a little bit of insight into a matter that happened this morning, which was a little bit of a good news for us on this situation. So the Pure Girls decided to, when I was with Jeffrey, shoot at us, and they weren't little guns; they were big guns. And I'm guessing the ones that they used last night too were big guns
Yeah,
because
they're
the
walking
police
around with
officer.
AKs.
Yep, the police officer that helped us last night also was there this morning, and he actually got taken down by the big guns. So he brought this to the police department, or blocked us up at the police department, and will want to raid them. But we need a little bit more information to help them out.
You know, this gang isn't even an oath gang. Like they're not even a gang. They're not even like we should really stop referring to them as the Angels because they are not associated to that as of yet. They are not O status. They are just a group of fucking little bitches who are trying to form some kind of status in the city and they are failing miserably because they are upsetting every person that they walk by. So I need everyone to stop calling them Angels for one. They don't deserve that respect in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't matter
Okay,
what name they decided to
Zoe,
choose.
calm.
I'm just fucking annoyed at these stupid
I
bitches.
know. Calm down. Okay, I'm just giving you
I don't even give a
information.
fuck about the rest. I
But
just want
the
Holly to
police
burn.
department, okay, hun, is they're on their last straw, and they're literally about to raid them. But they need
Sky.
a little bit more help from us
Yeah.
as civilians.
This might help.
Oh no. This will help.
Oh,
of
I
course.
see. You and Mrs. Moonbear are one and the same.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah, well, in that
Trying to
case,
stay away
don't mind
from
me.
the alcohol.
So, but yes, they, what was the officer's name? That he gave you his number. Unfortunately, I'm drawing a blank here. But if we have any information whatsoever, we need to give it to him.
So
And
let me fill in a little bit the gaps here that Miss Sergey has left behind. So the deputy McFarlane has tried starting already a raid upon the Angels last night, but Mr. Ruckus, I think it was his name, has denied with no further information why, as of why. But as things seem to keep escalating, fucking shut the fuck up.
He's literally getting his dick sucked, clearly, by one of them.
Just wait.
Sorry.
As it seems that things are escalating, we have taken both, legal matters in hand and illegal. And Mr. Jeffrey, I think, and Mr. Sergey have been preparing not only another set of explosives to deal with the doors, but something that they haven't cooked yet, but it's staying on the side, which is actual explosives, like actual fire.
Yeah, I want them to burn.
Yes. as it seems to be a car event, that means anybody can pull up in any vehicle, and I'm pretty sure Mrs. Sergey here has recently bought new vehicles, which very few people know of.
Oh wow. Okay, got you.
I bought
And
5 new vehicles.
sorry,
I was just telling her I bought 5 vehicles.
Yeah, I know
she
you
bought.
did.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure I can roll up in my Hummer with everybody.
Hummer might be a good vehicle as we're dealing with explosives, to be honest. However, I don't think you should be the one pulling in, Mrs. Sergey. I think somebody else should be pulling in with your vehicle. Somebody who is either undercover
Yes, Jeffrey?
and not willing to risk their life. Or actually, no, they are willing to risk their life. Because
So
I, for one, do not know how the explosives will work. On the doors, it's pretty straightforward. When it comes to an actual TNT, I am unaware. I have other people do my
yeah, I just want it to
business.
burn. I don't give it. I don't like. I really just want to be as helpful as I possibly can without skirting the line, and I want them to burn.
That is perfectly fine and understandable. However, I will let this matter into Dimitri's hands as I trust him enough with this. He seems to have been doing a pretty good job so far. However,
How long
this
have you
is
been
not the
considered,
reason
by
I'm
the
here.
way? Yeah, what is the
today.
reason?
The reason, however, is because Johnny's Trade Goods is going under. And I was looking to expand. I was looking to cover that empty void they left. There's people who need a lot of stuff, you and I included, and there's always somebody who's willing to pay a price in order not to have to deal with the commoner's work of receiving said materials or things.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I have been given the information very recently by Mrs. Moonbear that there is somebody going around as CCC, which seems that for the last couple of months they have been replacing Johnny's Trade Goods. However, this is the first time reaching my ear.
CCC.
Yes.
I've never heard of that.
Duncan. Some
Oh,
guy
no,
called
yeah.
Duncan
No, I know who
Eventide.
he is. Yeah.
Mr. Eventide.
He's been. So I had an idea, and I think he took that from me. I had an idea to sell people, what's it called? Ingredients, and like have them readily available. And have a truck, like a Renegade. This was my plan. I wanted to do this originally before Coda got me wrapped up in his shit. And Coda's someone else I'll talk to you about later. But anyways, so I ended up fucking wanting to do this thing where like I had a truck at every business, and every truck was full of ingredients, like every restaurant. And then what I would do is I would just upsell it like another like 5K or some shit, so that I would always have like 100 ingredients readily available in the parking lot. I'd come in and I'd be like, hey, you need ingredients, and then I would sell it to them. And then I think Duncan went further with it and started doing like actual like mining and stuff, and like took it to a whole other fucking level. So, and I think he took over like that entire thing with like purchasing everybody's shit, upselling it. Like I think he went around and like started buying everything,
I get it.
and
I
then
get it.
then put trucks around. At least that's what I think. Like,
unfortunately,
honestly.
I am unaware of his current business and how it works.
Genuinely,
and
that's what I think he did.
I would, from what I've heard, it sounds like it. I would really like to investigate and decide if I want to compete against this guy, as there's always plenty of fish in the sea, and unless you have a big enough fish net to cover them all, well, in that case,
in the hours,
Mr. Duncan hasn't covered all of his grounds.
Right. Because there's like hours he can't cover. There's manpower that he doesn't have. Correct.
Exactly.
It's usually just him, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe like one or two other people, but I haven't.
From what
really
I've
been
heard,
keeping
he's
up with what
working on
been
getting
doing.
his own place. And Mr. Tony, I don't know who this guy is so far, but the Mrs. Moonbear has mentioned that Mr. Tony agrees with what he's doing. That is all I know.
I mean,
and
it is what it is.
However,
yeah,
go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was gonna say, it seems like Mr. Duncan hasn't covered all of his grounds, and So far, from what you've told me and what I've heard, I have more manpower and have made myself louder than he has in 6 months, which tells me that if I work carefully around him, I could one night just snoop over everything he has and take control. Because, as you said, he doesn't have the manpower to cover all the shifts. Me, perhaps I could get some people. I know Mrs. Sergey here would be very happy to take care of such business, legitimate business, of course, and to provide people with their needs. But for that, I do need people. And once we do have people, I need money. Because I was thinking one way of getting Mr. Duncan out of the picture is to just buy everything he's buying before he does, so he doesn't have anything. Which means investing a lot of money in miners, in buying everything from the miners straight from the refinery.
But you understand he probably has like agreements with certain mining people, right? Like
very few.
they probably do friends for him and shit. Like
if
he
we
hasn't
have
hired.
more, then we win. We don't have to take his people. We just have to take more people or offer his people a better price. Which means at the beginning
I'm pretty sure
we might
he's
be
paying
losing.
like a total amount. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure he's paying like I'll pay you this if you go do this mining run. And so like they're guaranteed a specified amount of money. They don't have to worry about what they're mining and they just send it to him. They give it to him.
All of this is research that has to be done by
Yeah,
me.
yeah, right.
By
These are all
whoever is
assumptions,
involved.
but
Yes.
yeah.
However, if that seems to be the case, all we have to do is see what it would mean to give a better deal and how much in depth we would go. And if we were to go in depth, who should we team up with? Because working is not gonna. We can't work and do this at the same time. Gain money and then spend money and gather people. That's too much. However, I have heard of somebody at the what was it called? Bahama Mamas? Another businessman, which is really interested as well in gaining more power and popularity and whatnot. And I have yet to talk to him, although I have let one of his bartenders know the name of the person. I think he goes by Mr. Jesse.
Jesse?
I believe so.
You're slipping there.
I think we just usually call him Jess.
No, that's Jesse. That's what Mr. Eli said.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. It's okay, no worries. Next time, get his contact.
Mr. Eli was really keen on not sharing any information with him. However, from what I've heard, the man does spend a lot of time around the establishment. Hence, I can just go and meet him one day.
You'll see him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about it. Anyway, and I was thinking of perhaps offering him the opportunity to join us on this round table. However, I have to, before I invite him to the table, I must be sure that I have all the winning cards. So
I would also vet him, like make him do something that's against the girls or whatever, or make him do something like, I hate to say this, it sounds gangy, but like to confirm whether or not he's legit, like unless he's just trying to like, you know, like you have to be careful. You actually don't know who the fuck this is. Like, have you actually associated with this man?
With Mr. Jesse, myself, I have not. However, this has nothing to do with the hen house, and
oh, okay.
I am looking to making this business civ, and I think
you'll
understand why. However, with a little bit of, help, which obviously will be greatly rewarded depending on how well it goes.
Okay.
I have heard, unfortunately.
So to be clear, you're looking for a way to find money and make it easier to gain money, correct? Without having to be sitting behind a counter, so that we can focus on bigger things. Is that correct?
Exactly. And it's not only because of the money. It's because in order to get this going, I am a nobody here right now. And I'm gonna be a nobody. And I hope it stays that way. I hope Mr. Wilford is just a name taken by the wind. However, in order to obtain a business, you must be recommended by somebody. You must have somebody who is who wants you to succeed. And if it's just, let's say, me, there's not gonna be anyone. There's no backing up. However, the more backing up I get, monetary and morally, the more likely it is to get this part of the the business,
Yeah.
the
Okay.
infrastructure of the city, which is a big part because whoever holds this token holds some sort of immunity. Because if done correctly, not many gangs will mess with you, as they will probably be your main customers. I highly doubt the police are interested in buying ingredients or materials of any sorts.
You are correct.
And I know for certain there are a lot of helpless and lost miners outside who are just tired of going from one place to another trying to sell their stuff. And I can assure you that I have done that today myself and I have witnessed it. It's really bad. So I am willing to offer them both a home and a solution.
Okay. Just understand you've also got Sideways trying to give them like extra, nonsense and promo bullshit and all that other crap. So you've got
Which
Monkey
they
Sideways
have
and
owned
you've
not
got
by?
lived up.
Sideways, then
Would
you've
you
got Johnny's.
could you tell me who Sideways is owned by?
Sideways is mechanic. Sideways is a mechanic shop, and it's owned by Coda. And he's got some kind of union that he's trying to form. And I'll be honest with you, from what I've paid attention to, there's not much to it outside of like a discount to his prices, and his prices are already pretty high. So when you add the discount in there, you basically get a normal price that you would get like at Red Rocket or Atomic.
Well,
It's all a
Yes,
scam.
but Sideways is never open, and I know this because the last freaking 3 days, and I'm in city all day. Every single fucking time I go there,
Yep,
they're never
good.
open.
Good. That just goes to show that they're lacking in management, which they were this entire time.
So which that
I
means
was
they're
so
not
happy.
getting ingredients, which means the ingredients will come to us. Or
Yeah,
the
all right.
mining
That sounds
stuff
good
will
to
come
me.
to us.
and at the same time, we're not doing anything that would raise any kind of alarms. I'm pretty sure there's other businesses who fight over these materials as well, and I
That is
highly
true.
doubt they end up literally fighting for them. Right, like
I
other
mean, I
mechanics.
get people come to me all the time and I'm metal detecting on the beach asking me for my materials.
Desperately scrap metal.
Yeah.
They'll go around and they'll just look. They'll go to every single little bag on the floor to see what it is, just to see if anybody dropped anything like that we don't think is valuable. Because when you're a Danny at the beginning, and you go to metal tech, honestly, as a ignorant civ, it's like diamonds, diamonds, diamonds. So everything else is just trash to me. You know what I mean? I don't understand.
Oh no, not me, darling. I pick up everything.
No, that was. But I'm saying, hold on. I'm saying Danny's do this.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean? Right. So they'll go around and they'll they'll go through every single bag to see what there was left. Just because they're so desperate to get scrap metal.
Yes. I mean, there was a guy that always contacts me all the time and will pay me even more than any of the shops in the city, which is Grandpa Jay's saves me 200 per material, like each individual one.
What kind of material?
Scrap, electric scrap, rubber, glass
Nice.
sometimes. Yes. And that's the highest I've gotten from any of them in city, like any of
That's
the
wild.
mechanic shops. Yes. He contacts me quite often. But if I would like to, I could give my materials to Mr. Wilford here and instead
And
help us out.
you, Mrs. Sky, just have showed us another opportunity. There's people who are new to every business, and if we were to get in contact with them before anyone else, we could profit off of them and get some of our money back that we invest in other places where people are a little bit more experienced and know the market. So if we were to get these newcomers to work for us for a little bit, it would be a win-win, as they get a safe income. They don't have to wander around wondering what they should do with it. We would just buy everything, and then we would invest that money into other stuff, perhaps the miners, which are a little bit more experienced, or just putting it aside for the business, as we will need an establishment of sorts.
Yeah.
Actually, not even, because we're not technically crafting anything, but I'm pretty sure at some point we should look into some place to settle down.
I'm gonna be saving up to buy my own place. like actually buy a place.
That sounds very good. That's really
Yeah,
nice. Do you have anything in mind?
I'm not. No, I don't have anything in mind because I'll just wait till the auction to see what's available. But at this point in time, I know that I need at least 5 to 6 mil, just to make sure I'm not fighting over it with somebody else. And I want to turn that into
Back on
600
the
bit or whatever it is, or however much 500, 600, 6 mil is in bit. I want to turn it into bit. So
got it.
I've got like a couple months, maybe 2. That is a couple.
All right.
That's the plan.
Back onto the topic. Did you wind up giving her the number to the police officer that helped us out? So if anything were to happen to you, Zoe, this police officer is on our side and wants them taken out. And any information we can give him, any evidence or anything, we can give it to this police officer and he will write it down for us. Any notes that we have or anything like that, he is on our side 100%, unlike some of the other ones that has helped us.
I mean, they're definitely not going to be on our side when they know that we're trying to blow them the fuck up, but I get what you mean.
They don't
said-
need to know that part.
Wait a second. That's means to an end, Mrs. Cat. It doesn't matter. What does matter, however...
What's their name? Send me their contact.
I will, yes, I will send you their contact as right now. 1 sec. Let me find them. There you go.
There was a meeting at Scooby-Doo. Damn.
Right. Anyway. So. One thing, however, that Mrs. Sergey just made me realize regarding tonight's event, going back a little bit on the angels. We need evidence. The attacking them tonight or whenever the event happens is not gonna help much. However, what is gonna help is getting evidence during this event. From what I've understood, Mr. Morgan has a lot of beef with these girls, and as soon as they probably see him, they're gonna be a little bit aggressive. Is that correct?
Yes, 100%.
So
Yes.
we could have 2 teams show up at the meeting, or 3 perhaps. We would need some sort of photographer for the event. Some maybe Miss Sergey over here, or perhaps anybody else, if you know.
I was
Who's
thinking
willing
maybe
to
Chloe.
take photos.
Yeah, Chloe would be a good idea. Sorry to interrupt. I apologize.
No, that's okay.
So is she taking photos of us doing what we're doing or taking photos of them? And
Well,
video
we
of them?
could
Miss-
say
What are you
she's
wanting her
taking
to do?
photos of the event, and she's actually, taking photos of
There you
what
go.
they will
Connecting
do.
the dots. Well done, Mrs. Sergey. Yes.
Oh,
So we
thank
would
you.
need somebody who is trustworthy and neutral and has some kind of reputation regarding, events or
Photography.
taking photography, even better. That should be there already. This person should be aware of what is about to happen, but limited. Which means they should be aware of Mr. Morgan pulling up, which might take the angels by surprise and might make them overreact by perhaps pulling out a weapon when they are still in public, or even better, when they are unmasked.
It sucks I won't be here for this. Oh my god.
A photo should be taken when this happens, which the photographer should be in charge of. And then, after this occurs, the plan B, which was the main plan after all, the boom boom of the place.
Yes. I want to help set it all up but I won't be I have a demon's birthday today, and I'm even being on right now.
Same.
Flying in
Same.
is bad. So
Dimitri's name day is today.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah,
He's
mine
on
is not.
holiday today. That's why I'm here.
Mine is yes. Yeah. I don't know what I was gonna say. I can't say what I was gonna say.
Yes,
Doesn't
indeed.
matter.
It matter. It does not.
Yeah. Anyways, correct.
Right. So that is my plan as of right now. It
How do you
seems
want to
like
get the
something.
bombs in there though? Like obviously don't put them in the cars because you don't want to harm civilians. Like our plan is not to harm anybody but that truck.
Mrs. Sky, it's obvious to me that you are not one familiar with war. War means war. Innocent people will be involved, and unfortunately, the more we escalate this, the more innocent people will be involved. However, what we can do is make sure that we are nowhere near to be in trouble.
To be honest, all we need to do is make sure that their place of business is locked so they can't make food. Like that's all we have to do. And then burn that if we have to. Because like their biggest thing is like they're the hen house. They have specific items. They have to make those items, don't they? Or do you think they just replace them with some other fucking bougie ass shit from another fucking restaurant?
Would you be so kind as to share the poster with me via messages, as I do not
Yeah,
have
sure.
access to the
Like the
brain
biggest
rot.
thing is like hurting them, right? Like not actually hurting people. So I just think we should light their place on fire and lock it again. What's your name again? I don't think you
I
shared
Mr.
your
think
Mr.
we
contact.
should.
Wilford, terribly sorry if I
You
have
Jeffrey
sent
said
me
we
someone
should hit them
else's.
tonight, but I feel like if we hit them right after Sue or before Sue, um, then they wouldn't be ready for the event because they need to make their ingredients at their place, like you said.
Yeah, but
And
my problem is how quickly can they get the locks off again? That's my issue. I need it to be like right around the time that they're going to be coming over there.
I
Like
agree
we need
with
to
Mrs.
know where
Sky.
they are. We need to know where they are before the event, before they head in there. Like, are they at the clothing stores, getting dressed up, whatever? You know what I mean? We need to know where the fuck they are, and then we need to go bomb their fucking place and lock their shit up. Anyways, hold on. What am I sending you again? The flyer.
The
yeah,
poster.
Let's see if I can find his contact.
Yep.
Mr. Morgan, I have some sort of mission for you, which you might be interested in. It is quite a
but
dangerous one and full of adrenaline.
Okay, what is that?
That is, I need you, for the entire rest of the evening, to follow around the angels and know their location at all times.
Okay, I'll try my best.
I don't think he's gonna be able to.
You do realize that you need to change something about your outfit
Appearance.
as well as the vehicle. Do you perhaps have a third vehicle that I have not seen today? Something that is still pretty fast?
Not a fast one, no.
All right. In that case, I might have to discuss with somebody to borrow you a vehicle. We'll see.
I have my
But-
chat. Well, no.
Yep, tell them all damages are gonna be
I take the
repaired,
license
because I
plate
do
off?
That-
fuck up cars.
Dimitri has a
That is
vehicle
not
that's
a
pretty
problem.
fast.
That is not my
Okay.
problem as of right now. My problem is we need you to do this until there is the event. Because I am right now meeting
listen.
with... Yeah.
What about blowing their doors out? Because they're not a house currently.
Yes. However, we should blow 4 doors,
Give me a
otherwise there is
second.
no point.
What do you mean? There's no point.
I don't know.
Mr.
Okay, I just
Morgan,
don't.
the event is a car event, which means they're not gonna be serving their food in the establishment itself. They're just gonna cook it there. And if you want to disrupt their event, it means you have to block them entirely from reaching the kitchen of said establishment. Which means we
Okay,
have
we
to
do that.
lock 4 doors, which is a little bit more inefficient than having one TNT prepped right before they go to the hen house. But for that, we need somebody to be, tailing them for the entire evening.
Yeah, but I think like it's the fuck. I think it's better to get the doors out. You know.
It is better. It is more concrete
It's-
to remove
It's
the
not
doors.
it's not just a less efficient. It's more you know, it's better because gonna have to load their doors up. But like this, they can just they can wait it out. Yeah.
The waiting
Fire
out time is
department.
45 minutes, and the event is on a fixed time. I want to believe that the cooking will be done roughly before the event, which means exploding the place and setting it on fire for 45 minutes will disrupt them from giving food to the actual event.
That sounds perfect. But what about the what's it called? The fire department.
There's so many.
Is there a fire department?
I saw a fire truck the other day. I don't know if there
I
actually
am
is
pretty sure they
workers.
are not in use.
Okay, you say so.
And the fire, from what I have heard and the rumors, is that it cannot really be put out.
Perfect.
It's there to stay. That's why I
Perfect.
decided that maybe doing this instead of changing the 4 locks. Because if you change the first things first, I am unaware of the amount of locks you have. Explosives, perhaps.
Oh
you
yeah,
have the right
we got two.
The locks, however, you only have 2, and there is 4 doors, so that would
No
not work.
locks. We don't even have locks. That's problem.
Right. So, as you see, Mr. Morgan, it seems like we only have one solution, and that is you tailing them.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
If that's
So I
okay.
guess we're going with
I
my
can
idea.
Yeah.
try
I do have a
to.
coin.
You have a coin?
I have a coin. I can get
What is
another
that?
lock, I think.
Try to what?
Ooh.
That
That means
means
we're
2
down
locks.
still one more. Oh.
I think, don't you get 2 locks as a coin?
I don't know, honey. I don't use coins.
I don't
I
know.
think there's
Right.
one nearby.
Sorry about that. What was I saying? I don't remember.
I can
Right,
try
no,
to
that's
something.
no. So I can obtain 2 locks for you, Mr. Morgan, but that is it, as of right now.
Yeah, but yeah, let's just do TNT.
Yes. All right. So we agree on it. All right. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah. Okay. Well, do you know at what time the event will happen?
4 a.m.
I just sent you the.
my time in your time.
I
Fuck.
just sent it to you.
All right. Understandable.
10 p.m.
We
EST.
will. That will. Right. Do you think you will be available at that time, Mr. Morgan? Do you think you could perhaps take a rest as of now and then?
I can sure try my best,
Today, by the way.
but
Hey.
if I get sleepy, nothing I can do. But I just
I was suggesting
I knock out.
you should rest well before the event, like
Okay.
as of
Might
recently. Maybe I'll fly
yeah.
Mr. Sergey back in town, and have you guys prepare everything that is required for this operation. And
Because you
I
never
can
know.
go through it like crazy.
Right. Like you never know.
Well,
and
isn't
then
Sergey
take a
gonna be
break.
at the event?
Mr. Sergey should be at the event. I am not gonna be there, as it is
Oh,
his
hell yeah.
own
Right,
beef
right,
to
right.
deal with. I am here only as an advisor.
Good, good.
My job here is more
Give us
about
the ability to
earning
make
money than
outfits. Don't give us the
dealing
ability
with
to
revenge.
change
However,
into them
I
at
do
our,
like enjoy
place.
watching from afar.
Why not?
But
Yeah.
he will be there. But that is not
Hell
nearly
yeah.
enough, as the plan is a little bit more complicated, and this probably will be your most complicated operation that you have ever done, Mr.
Lingerie
Morgan.
and shit.
I will
I don't
quickly
Why
know
is
run you
that?
through
Why
the
don't we
details.
just
I'll
why don't we
quickly run you
just
through the details, and
okay.
then you will understand perhaps why. It is a concrete plan. First step being exploding them and denying them access to their kitchen. If that fails, we have a plan B, which is we show up at the event and we gather evidence. As you have heard today, evidence is required for them to for the police to take action, and you, my friend, are the trump card. You showing up at the event will definitely stir the pot. They will definitely do something which they shouldn't do. That's when we will have Miss Chloe, as the photographer for the event, take a photo of them perhaps pulling out a gun out of,
Tell me about it.
anger and without really giving it much thought, and perhaps they being unmasked,
Yeah.
So we
Oh,
catch
also,
them.
hold on,
we
I
catch
gotta
them
ask.
lacking. Yep.
What if they get fire extinguishers?
From what I heard, Mr. Morgan, the fire that the TNT causes is a little bit greater than what an extinguisher could do, or 3 of them.
Okay, that's good. That's fucking good. Okay.
But again, I have yet to experiment with it. I have no clue. Hence, this is why we have
Yeah.
backup plans for
Plan
this.
D. Yep.
Yes.
It's very stressful for me because what if this TNT? How do you even set it up? Do you throw it? Do you have to
no
wait?
clue, Mr. Morgan, and we do not have the resources to try it out, which means it's gonna be we're gonna literally have to wing it when it comes to how the explosives work.
Got it. Okay. Sounds good.
But back to the idea. So first plan, the TNT at the hen house. Let's say that fails and they end up showing up at the event. In that case, you, Mr. Morgan, are gonna pull up with your car to the event. They're gonna get aggressive. They're gonna probably pull out a gun on you when they shouldn't. Mr. Chloe will be there to capture a photo of them pulling out a gun without a mask towards you, which will be used further as evidence to the police in order to get raid them. And after that, hopefully you manage to escape alive from that situation. We only need you for a brief second over there until they pull out their weapons and get mad about it. And then we explode the place as well. Unfortunately, there might be casualties, but every war has casualties, Mr. Morgan.
We can do.
I hope you
We can
understand.
do like a Scooby plushie or 50K.
Just hope Chloe has to stay far away. If it's her only card.
Mrs. Chloe will be advised to use her drone in order to take photos, and she will be asking for consent for that probably. We'll deal with the logistics when it comes to Mrs. Chloe, do not worry. But, are you okay with the plan? Is there
Yeah,
anything you
seems
have to
solid.
say against it? That's my job, Mr. Morgan. My
Yeah,
job
but
is to make sure
I
the plans
have
go.
one question. What do I have to follow?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, why do I have to follow them? Why
Sorry?
not just show up? Why do I have to follow them? You know, just show up and plant a bomb.
The
Fuck off.
idea of showing up and planting the bomb is that the explosion and the damage caused by the bomb only lasts for around about 45 minutes. If done too early, they will, or too late, they will have access to the place. If done too early, probably the fire will go out by the time they actually need the resources, the kitchen. If done too late, they probably will have already made the food required for the event, hence they don't really care about the hen house that much. A little bit frustrated that it caught fire, but by the time the event is done, they're probably gonna forget about it, as the fire would have extinguished.
Yeah. Sounds
So
good. Okay,
that is
I'll
why.
follow them in an unmarked vehicle. You know,
This would get people to
I'll
like,
get
where
one
things are,
vehicle.
too.
It's not a big issue.
That sounds great, Mr. Morgan. I knew I could count on you. All right.
Yep. I'll
Would you
see
like for me
Sergey.
to ask for? Yeah, exactly. I was gonna ask.
Yeah, tell Sergey to come in and explain to him a little bit of the details. I can fill him in, but
watching and making sure.
yeah.
No worries, Mr. Morgan. I will take care of everything. I think Mrs. Sergey is pretty up to date with the plan as well. She will fill him in as well. So no need to worry, Mr. Morgan. You need to focus on staying undercover and safe until the time for the explosion. However, before you get to do any of that, we need to have everything prepared for tonight.
Sounds perfect.
All right.
It is.
Glad
if
you agree.
wanted to
In
make
that
it a
case, I'll hear
really
you
long
soon.
process.
Yep, see you
I
soon.
mean, hey,
Bye-bye.
if they're getting free money, you know.
Ah, right. Terribly sorry
Then
about
we would
that. I
have to
had to
make the
convince
stakes a
Mr.
little bit
Morgan
higher.
to
That's
go with the
true.
plan. He kept questioning my decisions. However, after explaining every piece and step of the plan, he realized that it is a bulletproof plan. Right. Where were we?
Okay.
So he's
Oh,
down
sorry,
to
we
do
were
this,
talking about Christmas
technically.
event.
Practically, there is a slight chance that he might fall asleep during this time. However, I have advised him to perhaps take a nap beforehand, just to be sure. I will
Poor
bring in
man.
Hello,
I will
Tyler.
bring in Mr. Sergey as well. He should
Unfortunately, I didn't get there to go there yet. Some
supervise
things
the
came up, and I'm trying to take care of some
Uh-huh.
booziness right now.
booziness. Okay, booziness it is. Right. Mr. Sergey should be able to supervise the situation.
Yes,
if
I'm still
neither
taking care of
you
the
are
business right
available.
now.
But you guys should fill him in regarding this.
I'm sorry. I'll
I
call you
can't
as soon
handle
as
when
I'm
there's
done.
two conversations going on. I'm lost.
Okay. Bye.
I'm broken. Sorry.
I am
You're
one
good,
to
I'm done.
believe that if you're on a phone call which has nothing to do with the people standing by, you should just walk outside or go on another floor.
I'm sorry.
Mrs. Sergey.
My apologies.
Right. As I was saying,
Damn.
I am one to. So as I was saying, there's a slight chance that Mr. Morgan might fall asleep while on the stakeout. However, we will hope that's not the case, as he seemed pretty excited about the plan. And
I really hope not. Hello?
Yeah, I heard you. I just gave you a second of silence so you feel awkward. Right.
Oh, you're awkward.
Moving on. However, Mrs. Sky, do you think you would be available during that time? Perhaps
I have to check,
feeling.
honestly.
Okay, please do check and let Mrs. Sergey know,
Okay.
as we might need to have some backup people for the backup plan. It is a backup over backup, but unfortunately for us, we're not given this opportunity every day, so we must make the best out of it. Even though that
So
might
if they
mean
don't hate
using all the
him,
resources.
they also
Sorry?
hate you.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
do
by the
they,
way,
Mrs.
yes,
Guy?
they also hate. So,
All right, seems like they hate a lot of people. That's I'm not gonna get into details, but whatever you did, it's good. We can use that because, although I do refrain from using ladies in such events, you might have to go in instead of Mr. Morgan and anger them. Again, this whole
Oh,
operation is about
fantastic.
making them a little bit noisy so that they pull out the weapon when they shouldn't. So that Mrs.
Right, but didn't we discuss
Chloe-
just hurting them at the hen house instead?
That is the main plan. I am one to believe that having a backup would be great. Because if the main plan works and they can't access their kitchen in order to make everything required for the event, obviously they're not going to show up at the event. However, if they manage to pull through, I feel like we should be there to strike them again while they're at their lowest. I don't know about you, Mrs. Sky, but I'm one who prefers having my enemies torn apart, not left weakened.
plan
There
A
are some
and
war
plan B.
rules. However, in this situation, if they play dirty, we should play dirty as well.
Why don't we also discuss with Diablos, like, potentially ruining their opportunity to work with them and just discuss it with them to see if maybe they would be willing to replace the hen house with, say, for instance, a civ-related business such as Scoopity-Doo.
I feel like that would be wrong, and they might tip them off.
Okay, but do you also think it would be right of us to put fire to the flame of Diablos while they're in the middle of a card meeting?
I also don't think that is maybe right. And
Right.
Okay, I have a couple of questions. I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're getting into a lot of errors in this idea. First things first. Telling the Diablos, talking to the Diablos to replace the hen house with Scoopity will, at some point, this information will reach the hen house. Hence, war against Scoopity, if there isn't already. Secondly, who's we?
What do you mean?
You said that setting fire to their event will annoy them against us. Who's us? Who's we?
Well, I mean, me, I guess.
Sorry?
I guess me.
Why
They'll
you?
get frustrated at
You
me.
just showed up at the event because you wanted to flex with your beautiful brand new car, which you managed to get from Mrs. Sergey. It's a car event. It's open to everybody. If it's not, then
That
you're
is
gonna
true.
go away. You're just there to
Yes, but
show
what I'm
your
saying
car.
is if and when the potentials of anybody ever finding out that it was, related to us in some way, that could fire
that's
back
why
at
we
us.
Who's
have
gonna
such
find
a
out?
tight
Who
knit,
knows?
which is between us three
Exactly.
or us four because of Jeffrey.
There is 4 people involved in this operation. If these 4 people do not snitch, then there is no finding out. Who is going to find out
Alright.
what? If we do this properly, and it's 3 events which happen at different times, Mr. Jeffrey is known to mess with the hen house. You are just you. You're just showing up to the event like any other person would. If the hen house will have a problem, they will do something about it. If not, we're continuing with plan C, which is exploding them, which is not going to be done by you anyway. It's going to be done by either Mr. Sergey or Mr. Morgan. Or whoever else is in town at that time. So you are there just as a little tiny event in the chance that we manage to take a photo of them pulling out a weapon without a mask on. Because they're not going to have the mask on at the event. However, they're going to be frustrated about your appearance. So they might just overreact for a slight second, where we're going to have Mrs. Chloe take full advantage of that slight second. and see them with a full gun, which will give the police every goddamn reason to do something about it. If not, we can take action against the police as well.
Yeah, I'm curious
And if you show
why-
face, say at said party, and this happens and everybody sees you standing next to your beautiful car, provided by moi, and you are not around the vehicle that is being blown up, no one can blame it on you because you were nowhere near the vehicle that
And which
said blew
vehicle is
up.
going to be said blown up? Which vehicle? Not the one that I'm driving, obviously.
No, hon, the food truck.
No, okay. I'm just saying, like, how are we doing that? How are we getting the explosive to it? You know, I assumed it would be a car.
There's gonna be a lot of
Okay.
people around, and from what
Okay.
from what I know, people don't usually just sit in their cars when at the car show. They walk around, they exchange glances. Hence, somebody will walk around the car, and when somebody walks around behind the car, he will just
The food truck, yeah.
the food truck. He will just
Okay.
drop a little surprise behind the food
I
truck.
hope you
and then
guys
he'll
aren't.
walk
I
away.
hope you guys are whispering because David or Joe is right there, just listening to our conversation.
Joe. I'm sorry. I'm more of a fan of surnames.
Can you hear us, Joe?
I'm pretty sure that
Let's
is a
check. I
tempered
hope he
glass and
can.
he can't hear me.
Here, let me check. I'll go outside and see if I can.
Right. I am dying of hunger.
I'll get you something in a second.
That's good.
I'm gonna stay exactly where I am just to see what happens. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing, 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 testing. Testing, 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 testing.
You good?
Okay.
All right.
Give me a second.
Sure.
We are coming in.
What?
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, this is Joe.
Hi, I'm Joe. And you are?
Hello. I am Mr. Wilford. Great pleasure meeting you, my friend.
Mr.
Joe.
Mr. Wilford.
Yes.
Okay. Nice to meet you too.
How's it going? Having a good day? What brings you here? The food? Or is it the weather?
What brings me here? Adventure, I guess. Adventure awaits, as some people say.
I like
This
your
is my
spirit,
good
Mr.
friend Joe.
Mr.
I
Joe.
am a good friend. I am good at being friend.
I'm sorry, Mr. Joe. You wouldn't mind calling you by your surname, would you?
By my surname.
Yes.
Your
I
last
am.
name, hon.
Or you
Same
mean
shit.
Booker? Okay, yeah, you can call me Booker, I guess.
Oh, Mr. Booker. That's quite a name.
You could also call me by my AKA. AKA the Bullet.
The Mr. Bullet.
Yes.
All right. Are you good with the guns?
No, I'm a race car driver.
Oh, all right. I see.
I'm a
That is-
professional racist.
That is. I'm not sure about the term racist there, but
What?
I understand. Right.
You're calling me a racist?
You call yourself
There's
a
your
racist,
food.
Mr. Booker.
Aurora, here's your food.
Well, I'm a car
I
racist.
have
That's
food?
that's something
When
different.
did
I
this
mean,
happen?
I'm assuming
I
you
see.
need food. Not for you, Joe. It's for her.
I didn't assume it was for me.
Turned around. Looks like
You
you're
made
gonna
my
get it.
favorite.
Oh, cool. It just looked yummy.
You have a favorite?
I do have
Where?
favorites. The French toast and hot cocoa.
We've been here for
Nice.
a hot minute, Joe. That's why I fed everybody. My bad.
Cool. How are you doing
Right.
today, Zoe?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay. I was gonna go make some monies, but I got to meet this lovely gentleman here, and we were
Monies would be
discussing
nice.
things. Yeah. So what are you up to?
Don't know yet. Still planning. Still thinking. Still perusing.
Are we done with our little talk, Zoe?
That was exactly what I was about to ask Mrs. Sergey.
So to be clear, you want me to see if I can walk around, basically.
That is all you have to do. You are
All right, but understand I may not be able to. Like, it's actually not possible for me. I'm like gonna ask and see what's going on around that time, but given the day and how important it is to my outside of the city life, I don't know. Like, I was gonna jump on, fly in for a little bit, and then fly out for the rest of the day today. You know, essentially
there is
associating my entire day out of the city.
no need to worry about it. It's all
Mm.
right. Again, this was just a little bit of an opportunity we had
I
where
know,
we could
and it's
catch them
frustrating.
slacking. It's perfectly okay. After all, we're playing the long game
Wait.
here, so it's fine.
It is,
What is
it
the
is.
opportunity?
I mean, I trust Joe, if I'm being honest with you, but it's up to you guys.
That is
Okay.
all up to you, Mrs. K.
Okay.
I'm. It's your business. It is your acquaintance. It's your decision if you want to share or not.
We are going to make the whorehouse have issues today with their lovely event. One of
Mm,
two ways: stopping them from doing their ingredients, making their
Okay.
foods, by locking and blowing with TNT so that there's a fire for 45 minutes. Or
Right.
if we're unsuccessful there, the next is the car meetup that's today. And that's to bomb their truck. But I'm really trying to
Alright.
avoid the truck because I don't agree with that. It's gonna hurt people, like actual people.
That might be like
That's
like a terrorist
terrorism.
action. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a difference between like
Revenge
harming
and terrorism.
them. Yeah, harming them internally versus like harming people.
Harming
So-
people in general and tarnishing their name.
Right. Give me a second, actually. I want to look at something.
I was gonna say, but I'm gonna
What?
wait.
2.
I mean, they didn't care about harming us last night.
That is true. That's a good point. They are also putting other people in harm's way just because they can't. They
'Cause I
just, they
was a
just always see
civilian.
red.
And they
Mhm.
didn't mind shooting at me last night and harming people.
That's
true.
the thing, though. Like shooting at you, and like I don't know. Like an explosion is meant to harm many. Shooting is not. So it's like intention. You know what I mean? Intent.
Well, I
is
mean,
there.
what happens if they actually
Explosion
got in?
and shooting have both the intent of hurting many, Miss Sky.
What if they
However-
actually got into the establishment last night?
Hmm?
Yes.
What happens if they did get in the establishment last night, or it was an outside event and they didn't care and they were just going to shoot whoever? It doesn't matter if they were a civilian or if they were in a gang.
Yeah, I understand.
However,
I think. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say there is another method, not my favorite. We could go a little bit more subtle and just. I mean, we do know that the most of the food is gonna be within the truck, and we could explode the truck, sure. And there's multiple methods of doing that anyway. It doesn't have to be TNT. I'm pretty sure a truck is filled with gasoline after all, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of bullets in the
To the gas
tank
tank.
area would ignite the vehicle.
That is
However,
true.
there is a sneakier way of doing it, which is just taking off with the vehicle. And there's multiple methods
their
of
I
doing
guess,
that.
yeah.
You
food
could
truck?
you could go sneaky and just steal the food truck,
You could
or
also tow it.
you could tow it. That's true, or just push it somewhere where it's unreachable,
Mm-hmm.
and then or steal it. Just steal it after you push it. The idea is the most difficult part is going to be taking it from from there, which can be done in
Okay.
two ways: either with a tow truck, as Mr. Booker here has suggested,
Mm-hmm.
or just by pushing the vehicle somewhere using another vehicle, like the.
And to be
I mean, you could also lockpick it and hotwire it, but
Lockpicking
you would
will
have to
probably
create.
do
You
it
would
let's
have to
not
create the diversion.
let's not harp on the food truck, because I want you to be clear. I want you guys all to understand how this works normally when it comes to a food truck. The food truck is literally just like a stand. Okay, all the people surrounding it that are employed within the food truck have all the food on them. Like, it's just always that way. I've experienced that 3 times now with 3 events with Miles. So the food truck really is not that important. The important part is stopping them from making their food. Because if we can stop them from making their food, they would have to go use somebody else's kitchen. Okay? Like, I understand that would, like, that's not a big deal, but it's not their food and they're supposed to be selling their food. So I think that matters. Like, I genuinely think that matters. So I think we should really just focus on trying to get them at their place of business, and then stealing the food truck, like, as a side thing. It's like still hitting them with that if they end up going and getting food from another establishment. Because it's very possible. And that's another thing. We could honestly post up at the ingredient spot up north and stop them from getting ingredients. Same thing with down south. Like, there's 2 locations here that we could honestly just harp on, and stop them from getting ingredients. There's multiple things we could be doing. So,
Mrs. Sky, how many people do you have that do you think they'll be willing to throw an arm into the ring? Because there is a third plan. We can play Capture the Hill with them. Where the hill is obviously the hen house. We have one man on the inside, perhaps Mr. Morgan, which is strapped with the dynamite. And we lock every door on the establishment. And we come prepared that they have some kind of backup plan to open the doors, perhaps some already prepared explosive. And in that case, we have 2 options. We either delay the explosions by shooting at them. So we would need multiple people outside surrounding the area, which would be willing to just do some cover fire for Mr. Morgan to buy them some time. Or just, have Mr. Morgan be ready once the door opens to blow everything up and run away through the back door. Because they're not going to blow up every door at once, and Mr. Morgan has multiple exits available. But this would mean
honestly,
that there's more people
on
employed.
fire.
That means a lot more people need to be there, because I'm sure this is not a 2-man operation whatsoever. However,
And it can't be more than 5, you know that, right? Like, it just can't.
That's fine. 4 is fine. 1 inside, fucking 3 outside. It's okay.
Yeah.
However,
What's
it's
going on?
more dangerous. It is not a higher reward.
That's a drug
just
deal.
it just secures the win a little bit better, perhaps, and not even so. I'm not certain. It seems like the Angels have a little bit more manpower than we do at this time.
Yeah, why are they walking around with AKs? Where did this non-O status fucking little group of fucking bitches who suck dick get AKs? Like,
I can tell you
it's
right
what-
now from personal experience, if you hang out with Tony, Tony loves to give you drugs and weapons. I know this because I know a guy who hangs out with Tony, and Tony literally paid him with drugs and weapons because he did something for Tony.
Okay,
And I'm not talking
well,
about little guns. I'm talking about big guns.
I have heard something of
He
sorts from
personally-
Mr. Morgan as
He-
well.
is what
He
his whole point
personally
is.
showed me.
Yeah. Anyways.
Right. So these are the options I see on the table as of right now. The second option that I gave you with the hill, with defending the henhouse, or keeping it away from the angels, is a little bit riskier, and will also mean that we put everything that we have on the table. Usually, it's good to not count on one strategy. This would be the only shot we get, because everything, explosives, C4, locks, would be all used within this one time. And if we fail, they will continue their event. They will have taken a win, a big win that is, because we would be resourceless, and we didn't get anything. However, if we plan smaller attacks at different intervals, one of them will surely catch them off guard. That's why I went with the first plan.
I feel like that's what I feel like that's what Dimitri's been doing and Jeffrey's been doing, and it hasn't really done anything because someone's just going back and like removing the locks, easy peasy.
I believe
Well, they didn't
Mr. Sergey
remove them for, like,
has done
3
it
days.
planless.
That's because they've been gone for 3 days. They're back now, obviously. They
True.
flew.
Good
Like, come
point.
on, let's think about the time of day or the time of year, okay? To be
Right.
clear.
Very true. I can agree here with Mrs. Kai. However, one thing that
It's
Mr. Sergey hasn't
unfortunate,
done
but
is prepare any kind of plan right before they have some kind of event, which this is the first time
that's
it
why I
happened.
thought this would be interesting.
Yes.
Yeah.
And however we act upon it, it doesn't matter. Mr. Sergey has been waiting at least a day between his attacks. Here we're talking about attacks which are going to be at the interval of 30 minutes each. So I highly doubt it's not going to be efficient or would send a message. Give them too much time and they will forget about it. Have one big bang and then stay quiet for 2 weeks will not work either, because they're gonna forget again. Have this attack be separated in 3 parts is
Assumption.
more likely to
Ocean,
happen.
Yeah. All right,
I
let's
think we
stop
should
talking
stop
about it.
having discussion.
All right, fair enough. I feel like my job here is done. You have the plans, you have the schematic. You people decide.
Hey.
Hey, everything good?
Yeah, everything's good. We do need ingredients though.
Okay, I will get some.
Okay. Do you have them in your car already?
No,
Oh shit. Okay. I'm okay with going too if you don't want to go. You just got here. I'm gonna go do an ingredient run.
All right.
we can
Yeah,
do
I got you,
both.
girl.
We
Oh,
can,
2 of us? Okay.
yeah.
That is all I had to say. Right.
Okay.
Mr.
Do I
Booker,
need to drop you off
it has been a
somewhere?
pleasure meeting you. It's fine.
Thank you.
I think I'll go to the beach and walk for a little while.
Reach out to me. Yeah, reach out to me in a little bit to remind me to see whether or not I can do this. Like, I'm gonna reach out to my constituents outside of the city and figure that out. But I just need you to be aware of, it is for what it is for Dimitri is the same for me, for you,
Fair enough.
Aurora. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right. Mrs. Kai,
Okay.
take care. Okay, cool.
He's gone.
Mrs. Sergey, again, it has been a pleasure.
Oh, darling. Love driving you around. Thank you.
And hopefully I'll see you around.
Yep.
Take care. Great. That was it. And so it begins.